So first, let's do the easy fix. Let's move these buttons up. Just using copy and paste to put them in place. Now I'm going to do a little behind-the-scenes investigation and point something out to you. P-align equals center is a way that for years many people have centered things on the internet. But the W3C has decided that P-align equals center is no longer an acceptable way to center things on the web. As a result, Firefox has stopped supporting it, even though Internet Explorer does still respect it. And a little reminder that although Dreamweaver works very hard to respect the latest in web design standards, every once in a while you can still use a tag in Dreamweaver that won't work consistently across all browsers. Let's look at the jellyfish.html page, and clicking on this div tag, you can go right to div align equals center and see that this page is centered using a div tag, while this page is centered using the p tag. Now, there are a number of ways we could change that, but the easiest one is going to be to simply remove the p tag. So if I click here anywhere in the body, I can click now in the tag selector, remove the tag, select all, and let's insert a div tag around this, wrap it around the selection, and I call it container. And now let's create a style for container by going up to the CSS panel. We're creating internal styles at this point, so let's just keep it simple. A new container style in this document only. And remember, you can set block to text align equals center. And that should center everything in a way that Firefox does respect. So now if I save the page and preview it, Firefox much happier, except one last little detail. Looks like we need to put a return there to wrap those down below. Let's go back and do that. Make sure there's a p tag there. You don't want that aligned center in that p tag, so we can just delete that there. Oh, Dreamweaver has been putting them all over the place for me. In theory, p-aligned center will not hurt anything if you leave it in your pages, but I just want you to see that it won't display in Firefox, and it probably won't display in future versions of most browsers. So as long as you've got everything centered in some other way, like the container style I just created, you should be okay. And let's try that one last time. There we go. So now we have our turtle game, our jellyfish video, and we've created a very simple little design using a Flash file, a Flash video file, Flash buttons, and Flash text. Let's go back to Dreamweaver, and I want to show you just one last thing before we leave this multimedia lesson. If your multimedia files are in the Flash format, as you've seen in this lesson, Dreamweaver has some great dialogues and a number of options that make it easy to not only insert Flash files, but to set the parameters and specify how the Flash file will play when it's viewed in a browser. If you want to insert audio or video in any other format, perhaps you have a video file in QuickTime or Windows Media, or you have an audio file that's an MP3, you won't find a button specific to any of those formats, but you will find a generic option for inserting any other file type that requires a plugin. When you choose the plugin option, you simply get to specify a file. And I don't have any files in this sample lesson that aren't Flash, but all you would do is select the file, audio or video file, and when you clicked OK, Dreamweaver would insert it into the page and just give you a little icon that's kind of a holder for that space. Setting the parameters for audio and video that aren't in the Flash format gets a little complicated for this Essentials training. But I'll leave you with this. If you're using QuickTime, Windows Media, Real Media, or any other format like that, search for the word parameters on the website of the creator of that media type, and you'll find a list of settings you can use in Dreamweaver to specify how that file will play. The way you'll do that is just to insert the file, and then with the file icon selected, use the Parameters button in the Properties Inspector and specify those parameters there. Again, it's a little complicated for an Essentials level training, but I hope that will at least get you pointed in the right direction. I encourage you to seek out more advanced multimedia training if you want to use audio and video in other file formats.